If you're a high-achieving woman who's exhausted by stress, stuck in constant conflict, and tired of being overlooked in the exact rooms where you know you were born to lead, then this podcast is for you. So here's your host, Pallavi Jain.
Welcome to her Boss Brain podcast, a space for high achieving women ready to be on self start and take control of their life, no matter what's happening around them. I'm your friend and your host, Pallavi. I know how much you carry on your plate every single day, and that's exactly why today's conversation matters. So let's get real for a second. You're a middle manager, your boss just dumped a shiny new strategy on your lap, your team is already fried, and you're stuck in back to back Zoom calls wondering if anyone's going to ask how you are doing. But do they? Of course not. And you know exactly what I'm talking about because you're living it. It's brutal. But here's the truth. If you don't take control of your own inner game, you are going to burn out. And when you burn out, so does your team. Listen, you are the glue holding the company together. Executives depend on you, employees depend on you, and yet you are the one stuck in the middle, getting squeezed from both sides. And guess what? You're exhausted, you're disengaged, and if nobody fixes this, we are going to lose you. And when we lose you, the whole team fall apart. That's the ticking time bomb inside organizations today. And here's a fact for all those executives who are listening. Gallup's latest global report shows that managers are now the most disengaged group in the workforce. Not entry-level employees, not executives. And if you think that's not going to affect productivity, culture, retention, you're fooling yourself, my friends. Managers are the backbone of success for any organization. But too often they are taken for granted. And this is why it is critical for executives to recognize their role, starting with their own inner leadership, and create environments where managers can thrive. Executives depend on them to carry out strategy. Teams rely on them for guidance. And yet, they are the ones stuck in the middle, exhausted and disengaged. I was having a conversation with a well known global organization. I won't name them. And they wanted to be intentional about the culture, the leadership, they're creating in their organization. And they invited me for a conversation to explore proactive steps. But the reality, they were still stuck investing in the same trainings, conversations that we have been having for 20 years. And it's hard for them to pause and realize they can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. According to McKinsey, middle managers report higher rates of burnout and stress than both executives and frontline workers. And when you add to that also a Harvard Business Review study that shows that over 60% of middle managers feel caught in the middle with conflicting demands, unclear roles, and very little support. And here's the cost for your organization: more sick days, more burnout, and more money lost in healthcare and turnover. It's really a two-edged sword affecting both sides. The company side results in high turnover, low productivity, wasted time and energy and money managing conflicts, rising healthcare costs, and of course, absenteeism. And then on the other side, which is the employer or the manager side, they are more exhausted, they are stressed, their personal and professional lives are messed up with conflicts, poor engagement, lack of fulfillment, and they're just going through the motions, trying to prove something to someone. It's clear this isn't working for anyone, and we need to address the root problem, the inner well being and self leadership of every manager. Quick fixes, short term gains, they just won't cut it. Real investment in managers is essential because they are the heart and brain of your company. They can either drive profit and create a healthy culture, or they could create chaos that impacts your bottom line, team relationships, and of course, innovation. Sooner or later, it is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. When I was a HR leader, and I'll be completely honest, half of the time I felt like a therapist without the degree. Someone would come crying about their workload, someone else about their pay, and inside I'm thinking, are you kidding me? I'm dying here too. Who's checking on me? So 7 years ago, I thought I was killing it as an HR leader. I really did. I'd be firing off emails at 11 o'clock at night, not because it was urgent, but because I was terrified that somebody would think I wasn't committed enough. The next morning, I drag myself into a meeting, plaster on my best calm leader face, and sit there nodding while inside my heart was pounding, my jaw was tight, and my mind was spinning with 1,000 endless, needless worries, honestly. I thought I was hiding it, but the room felt it. One time, I opened a meeting with, okay, let's get started. And my voice, it came out so sharp that someone flinched and another person crossed their arms. Within minutes, tension spread. And yes, that was on me. That's when it hit me. My private stress wasn't private at all. The way I showed up set the entire tone. And listen, the worst of it is that I carried the shame of that moment for years. Because the truth is, I wasn't leading, I was surviving. But the good news is, you can change this. I can't rewrite what happened back then, but I can absolutely decide how I show up now, which I did, and so can you. Now, before any meeting, I pause. I use my ATM, arrive in the moment, take responsibility for what matters, make a conscious choice about how I want to show up. And when I do that, the whole room feels different. And that's the power of leading from within. And that's why I'm so damn passionate about sharing this with you. Because the way you manage your inner game doesn't just change you, it ripples through every person you lead. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, Pallavi, that's inspiring. But how do I actually take charge? Here's the deal. Self leadership isn't just a feel good idea, it is a responsibility. And if you're a manager, here's your challenge for this week. I want you to notice one meeting where you usually feel reactive. Pause before it starts. Check in with yourself and choose how you will show up differently today. That's accountability in action. Small, practical, measurable. Do it consistently, and you will see your team respond in ways you can't even imagine. Let me give you an example, a real life example where I saw an actual change happen. So, in one of the corporate workshops I did, I had this manager, we'll call her Sophia. She kept telling herself, my team isn't productive, they don't step up, I have to do it all. And guess what? Every meeting she walked into, her shoulders were tight, her voice was sharp, her energy screamed, don't screw this up again, you know? And what did her team did? Exactly that. They pulled back. They played it safe. And they confirmed her worst fear. So when she told me this, I asked her and I reminded her that, Sophia, you're not stuck with that thought. That's just a script you keep running. Change the script, you change the energy. Change the energy, you change the room. And she did. She walked in thinking next time, they are capable. I am here to unlock their ideas. And boom, someone on her team spoke up with an idea that blew her away. And that's the power of leading from within. We learned in our last episode that your thoughts change your inner chemistry. But here you also see that actually her private thoughts weren't private at all. They were, of course, shaping her inner chemistry, but also her presence, how she showed up, and hence impacting her team's behavior. So changing her inner script also changed the team's response. That's leadership from within. The fact is, your brain isn't fixed. It evolves and it adapts. I love Dr. Daniel Siegel's work, and he calls this integration, which is aligning body, mind, and emotions, which makes you more resilient. Your brain is like, Play Doh. Every thought you think, every feeling you practice, bam, you're strengthening that pathway. You think stress all the time? Congratulations! Your brain just got better at stress. You practice calm. Boom, you're training calm. That's neuroplasticity. And that's why the ATM framework works. It's not just woo-woo or whatever theoretical. It's literally rewiring your brain. So use it as your entry point to lead from within. A, arrive. Pause and notice your state. D, take responsibility and get clear. What is it that actually matters? And M, make a conscious choice. Decide how you will respond rather than react. When combined with the science of neuroplasticity, ATM helps you integrate your brain for resilience, for clarity, and conscious leadership. The inner foundation to show up calm, confident, and strategic. Yes, and even during disruption. And this is exactly why we explore neuroscience, mindset, and self leadership in the Boss Brain podcast, because we got to activate that boss brain of yours that is capable of all of this. Managers, all my managers who are listening today, I want you to remember this. Don't wait for permission or for your company to fix this. When we blame somebody else, we literally give our power away and our control away. So take charge of your inner game. You show up intentionally and you watch your influence ripple. Executives love seeing that kind of ownership. It makes your leadership impossible to ignore. And now, if you are my C-suite friend or HR professional listening to this, let me be very clear. If you don't invest in your managers, you are lighting your culture on fire, period. So stop waiting. When your managers are burnt out, so will their teams. The future of work isn't just about providing AI or technology advancement and trainings. It's about making available transformative programs for your people that are anchored on human inner intelligence and actually create real effect. And this future is counting on you. That is the real reason I built the Lead from Within workshop. Because when you equip managers to lead themselves first, the ripple effects are immediate. Productivity goes up, collaboration gets easier, and people actually like showing up to work. Partnering with you all and making real transformation happen for you and your teams is my happy place. So reach out to me. Tell me how I can help. My contact information is in the show notes. I am cheering for you all. Let's activate your boss brain so you can be on self-start. And be mindful of how you show up for others around you. Take care, everyone.
So that's it for today's episode of her Boss Brain podcast. Head on over to Apple Podcasts, iTunes, or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in a grand prize drawing to win a $25,000 private VIP day with Pallavi herself. Be sure to head on over to her bossbrainpodcast.com and pick up a free copy of Pallavi's gift and join us next time.